welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew. Again, hope you enjoyed that short break and that brutal OC as well as we have returned with our semifinals. The semifinals of the PiGosaur Monday number 8. We have our ZBTR Zerg and Terran, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Violet Square, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. It's Gamba time, papi. Place your bets on who you believe will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as predictions now open for the semifinals. Here we go. As we are setting up, a bit of banter here between SHIN and ByuN. Again, they have been playing very consistently over the past couple of months. For those who are curious, SHIN is the most active Zerg player when it comes to the online tournament scene over the past like 3 months. Likewise, ByuN, I think I would say he's been even more active than Clem, because do you see what I see in this bracket? I see Max Packs, I see ByuN. I do not see Clem. Clem, he has been a little bit less active here when it comes to the PiGosaur Monday, so ByuN has been all over it. And yeah, as a result, we have seen a lot of matches between ByuN and SHIN. Because they sign up so frequently, they also play frequently as well. And they do go back and forth in series. They are very active and they trade quite well as well. So we'll see who is better on the day, who is better on some of these new old maps. Again, not envious of those in the chats when it comes to this prediction. Best of luck. As for now, we are settling in. It is going to be Hatch Gas Pool out of SHIN. Likewise, Rax Expand by ByuN. You can tell what they're talking about as well. SHIN, he's like, Papi, did you see the blizzard? They now I can swell. They're animals, Papi. They're animals. Ay. Hope. I mean, I guess it. No, I was gonna say like I guess it doesn't matter what an upgrade is called, but at the same time, like I feel like we refer to upgrades quite often in StarCraft, right? Like it is something that we say. Like yeah. I don't know. Hopefully they change it because it's kind of weird. It's just kind of a weird word and the kind of name for it. Ay. Anyway, we're settling it. I mean, like, on the one hand, it's like that monkey's paw thing where Blizzard, they're like, you know what, we've heard the people, you know, we will not call it Dash. We won't call it Dash, we will call it something else, just for the people. And we're like, let's go, you know, the petition was made, Dash was removed, and then Blizzard's like, okay, yeah, you got what you wanted. Now you're swelling. Okay. Now your Hydras, they swell up instead. And they zoom. Thank you, Blizzard, thank you. Shaking my head. As the players are settling in. If you're again native when it comes to the Korean language, if you have some translations for us, I would appreciate those translations. We would all appreciate them if you did have them. Otherwise, I like to believe that's what they're talking about. So now we're calming things down. We do have ByuN going for a third CC. Very fast third CC on location. I mean, this makes sense. Once again, we're loading into Neo Violet Square. There is a pocket base right for you. I mean, you can take it whenever you want. And ByuN will take it very quick on location. So very greedy play here by ByuN, and he will not be punished. Behind this, getting to a 1-1-1, getting into Banshee production. So 3 CC Banshee out of ByuN. And again, just greedier than normal. Is something that you can do. I just have water retention problems now. Oh no, not like this. This is why we always remind you to hydrate your Hydras. Ay. What have we done? Yeah, this map is pretty. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a nice color scheme. True. Papachinko, man. That's why I was laughing. we know that much at least. Yes, all the laughing. As Banshee does move out, it does hit the third so far. Shin is keeping up. Oh, getting rid of the Banshee. Does run away. Nice pickoff. Cloak is not yet done. At least the Banshee survives, so it takes a lot of hits, a lot of damage, has to race back home to be repaired. And ByuN is working on that next step, getting to his 3-1-1 setup, 3 Raxes, 1 Factory, 1 Starport. Is building up. Is getting there. Here we go. From here, ByuN is going to be setting up. Now moving out with his Hellion Banshee. Opted not to come back home to repair. Interesting. The Banshees are very low as a result. Very low. So best of luck. Does dip into the bases, catching a Queen. Queen goes down. Nice pickup. Rest of the Queens do respond. Hellions, they dive in. Ooh. But the Lings, they do get us around. They collapse on the Hellions. Massive catch here. The Hellions get cleaned up. Ay. Hellions fall. Queens are trying to hold their own. 2 Queens go down. The Banshees trade well, but the Hellions are less so. As the Hellions did crumble. 4th base stands strong. Spores are repositioning. And Shin does go for a bit of a counterattack, but alas, he shouldn't get much here at home. Yeah, plenty of Marines in position. ByuN holds. ByuN holds. Shin behind this, embracing Ling Bane. 1-1 upgrades. Baliness on the way. Meanwhile, Shin rushing into the gold. Let's go. Going for the 5th. Shin is keeping up. So far holding on. No major losses outside of the initial trade with Hellion Banshee. Now we've reached the 7-minute mark and ByuN is getting ready for his push. And this is a very committed move out here. I mean, I say committed, sorry, I should say it's a very strong move out for ByuN. What just finished up? 1-1, Stim, and Combat Shields. The upgrades have lined up here for ByuN. He has his tanks, he's pushing. But the rocks are being knocked down. They're still barely up though. ByuN can try to make use of them. Oh! Shin collapsing in! And not able to. Tank does siege in time. Shin has to Pachinko the hell out of here. Does pull away. And likewise, he cannot engage here. Not into the Pachinko machine. Not like this. Again, nice spread here by ByuN. I mean, again, this terrain just allows him to naturally spread his units. Naturally spread, naturally splits, and just have all these little choke points. Shin cannot engage. Not into this. So Shin has to back off. He wasn't able to knock down all the rocks. So ByuN in a really brutal position here. Shin cannot engage. Banshee's rotating around. Shin going for a massive link counterattack instead. Back at home, there are some defenses though. ByuN did wall off. Hydras, they take some hits. ByuN gaining ground. Shin still trying to find some value here, and he will catch some reinforcements. Not bad. Some Marines are falling. Again, you can see here, just really awkward to engage with the Marines in amongst all those squares. Tank goes down. Not bad. Getting a tank, getting more Marines. ByuN, he races back home. Does race back with more reinforcements. He's not gaining ground, and Shin is maxing out. And even though Shin hasn't been able to break this position, I mean, Shin is safe and sound. He's maxed. Going for the tank. He gets both. Now he can knock down the rooks. And ByuN has lost momentum. Has lost a lot of momentum at this point. He lost 3 tanks. Still being active with those drops. Threading a drop towards the main. Will boost in. There's not much here. Shin is across the map. He can't turn around. Turns around with some of his army. But drones are going to fall. Spore crawlers as well. Oof, massive mine shot. But SHIN, he can collapse on the 4th. SUV's under fire. Hive is going to fall. The army took so long, took too long to come back home. Oh, can he save it? Oh, he can. Oh my god. We're barely saving the expansion. GG gets called, and SHIN, he will save the base. He knocks down the 4th, and SHIN will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Does take the game here against SHIN, who was able to snowball out of control. ByuN, unfortunately, he was just bleeding out far too much when it came to his reinforcements. He lost 3 tanks almost for free, and he, again, was getting caught out in the open as well by those reinforcements. The drop across the map was doing well when it came to distracting some of the army, but the main army of SHIN just committed, knocked down the base, knocked down the mineral line. GG. GG, well played. We are going to game 2. Let us go. Oh, quack. Hello, Mr. Duck. Hello. Quack, baby, quack. As it looks like all the casters are going to be joining us. It looks like the upper semis did conclude, and MaxPax did take the series 2-0. MaxPax is waiting for the winner of ByuN and SHIN, waiting in the next round. We go. So we are getting into game 2. It's going to be on, once again, an older map. It's beautiful. It also makes sense that we haven't seen any maps yet, or any games yet on King's Cove. King's Cove was never really too much of a popular map, which is why it was kind of odd to see it come back as well. So we have seen it vetoed time and time again, but this map has not been vetoed as we embrace a very old map here, a blast from the past. This map was active back in 2017 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Abyssal Reef. We have the, and I'm sure they're talking about the map as well, once again, we have the blue Terran player from South Korea representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the we have the red Zerg player, also from South Korea, representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. I would imagine they're reminiscing about old times and old memories on the map. I would imagine. As if you remember, ByuN, he came back in 2016. Like, 2016 was ByuN's year, like, returning and competing, of course. That was when he made his comeback, and when he, won GSL, was on the top of the world. This was shortly after, in 2017. So ByuN was active, and yeah, good times, good times. Smooch. Just catching up. I don't know the StarCraft 2 term in English exactly, so I have to look it up and write it. Sorry, but I'll try to. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you. Gracias. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Do appreciate it. As for now, we are going to be settling in. So far, Hatchgas pull out of SHIN, likewise ByuN going for a racked expand, and welcome one and all to Abyssal Reef once again. Again, it's been a very long time since we had it in the map pool. Some of the big features, of course, it is very defendable on 2 bases, a very narrow choke point coming into the natural, so it is very easy to defend, at least at your natural. As a result, it does mean that you can focus your attention on your 3rd base instead. So very defendable on a 3-base setup. Very similar actually to Eternal Empire. If you do remember, Eternal Empire had a very similar structure with a very defendable natural into a 3rd. So very easy to get to a 3-base economy. Your 4th base as well as you expand forward here into another cliff face, a wall off. Also very easy to fortify yourself on 4 and then 5 bases. Getting a 6th base is more complicated and more difficult, but your 5-base setup is quite secure, as your 3rd, 4th, and 5th are all right next to each other. You can see here this 3-base setup. It's all right next to each other, all very fortified and easy to rotate between the bases. That's also a reason why previously we did enter a late game scenario between Creature and SHIN. Once you get your 4th, you get your 5th, you can max. Likewise, one of the other big features, of course, is that this was, I believe, the first map that had the feature, or had the feature of units floating up into the surface, as this is underwater. Can float. I want to say there's like a shadow of like a big whale or a big shark over here as well, if I remember correctly. I want to say that's the case. But now that we're settling in. Behind this, ByuN going 3cc into a starport. Very economic build here by the Terran. Likewise, when it comes to the center of the map as well, on the one hand, there are a lot of attack paths. True, there's a lot of attack paths, so there's a lot of counterattack potential. But at the same time, when it comes to this center location, a lot of choke points. A lot of choke points here. A lot of high ground as well, so it can be quite difficult to engage a main army with something that is looking for a surround. But when it comes to run-bys, I mean, that is a lot more accessible. Ooh, a SHIN is going for a very early Roach Warren. That was, what, a 340 Roach Warren? Jesus. So, very early Roach Warren here from SHIN. Did skip link speed, so, yeah, a bit of a greedier build here. Skipping link speed, going to Roaches, walling up, and walling off. There's the shark. Oh, they were talking about ping. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So for those that are curious, many of our tournaments over the past couple of months have been on the PTR. And on the PTR server, there are only US West and US Central servers. There's no East, there's no Europe, and there's no Korea. So I'm sure, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since they've been able to play on Korea. True, true. It's been a long time since they've been able to compete on the Korean server. So it makes sense that they would discuss that. Yeah, true. Aliens are being active. And actually beat Maru and Several. The era of ByuN was before the rise of Several. Several was a little bit later on. ByuN, he rose to the top in early Legacy. Several is much more of a modern like dominant force. So I would say they missed each other in that respect. Different eras, Pappy, different eras. As Helion's gonna be poking in. Up. Going for the Evo Chamber. Not bad. Evo Chamber is denied. Plus on Carapace is gonna be denied as well. ByuN rotating around. Gets a couple of workers. Let's pick up a couple of drones. SHIN pulling back, investing quite heavily here, taking into Hive. Was ByuN 0 2017? 2016. 2016. 2016 was when ByuN had the infamous GSL run where he had the oh god, what was the writing on his jacket at the time? This is when he was teamless, if you remember. Oh, God, it was so infamous as well. Who has it? Who has it? One Man Army? No. That was his nickname. One Man Army was his nickname. The writing on his back when he won GSL was more wholesome than that. More wholesome. It was a different phrase. Different quote. Sorry, I have a picture of it. It was love me forever or never. That's it. Very iconic, very iconic. But yeah. So when he won, he was teamless, and on the back, when he was on stage, love him forever and ever. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, that was peak. Oh my god, the fungal does connect. Oh, the chain fungal. Oh my god. Yeah, SHIN, massive pick off the army, barely standing. Lings, they come in, they shut down the Marines. And ByuN, he doesn't have room. He cannot lift everything, and such a massive loss there for ByuN. He has to back off, has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. Has to pull back. Alas did save his tanks, but ByuN, he's vulnerable. SHIN, he's maxed. He's maxing out, getting on top of the tanks. One more tank goes down. ByuN will punish though. Where are the reinforcements? I see ultras are on the way. Let's go. I was curious. I was like, SHIN, he has so much supply. Where is it? It's in the ultras. The ultras are amassing. SHIN remaxing. And ByuN is going to be stuck at home. I mean, he lost so much there from those fungals. He's trying to be active with some bio. Leaves his tanks here to defend. Securing his fourth. I remember first watching ByuN after return from the military. Yeah, that was later. That was later. Was later. Like peak ByuN was 2016. It was his GSL win and then his BlizzCon win. Like, oh, it's crazy. Oh. As once again, fungals do pop off. The chain fungals as well. As SHIN is waiting for his upgrades. He does have ultras, but these are 1-1 ultras. They're 1-1 ultras. We have 2-2 on the way. Forcing that back. SHIN moving forward. And again, there's just not much here to hold on. The planetary is going to fall. Bailey's, they crash in. Base goes down. And there are no ghosts. I mean, we're still lacking upgrades. These are still 1-1 ultras, so they're not too tanky. They have to back off. +2 carapace is just now going to finish. Ghosts have arrived. ByuN making 4 ghosts at a time. Snipes going up. And SHIN has to calm things down. ByuN, he's going to be able to max out. We spoke about this before, but you're very defensive here. It's a very defensive setup here on 4 and 5 bases. Very difficult to push in. Bungle's going up. Nice EMP. Oh my god. And ByuN, he will shut down those ultras. Behind this, Spire is on the way. This should be for a greater Spire. This should be for Broodlords. And it looks like SHIN, he cannot break ByuN. He cannot kill him. He's trying, don't get me wrong. He's trying. Oof. Diving in once again. Oof, mind shot going on, taking down a massive chunk of Lings. Once again, though, he does get into the mineral line. Ooh, Ghosts are going down, massive pickups. Ghosts do fall, ultras, they get on top of the army. They barely do. You can see they're deep in the red. But that was still a better trade for SHIN. It was still barely a better trade. Yeah, the final ultras are being cleaned up, but he gets 6 SCVs, knocks down most of the army, resets the ghost counts. So ByuN sniping another ultra. Pulling back the vials. Oh my god. Vials to connect. And GG gets called. It's just too much to handle, and SHIN will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. Whew. GG. GG, well played. SHIN, he will break through with the 2-2 ultras, papi. Aye. Again, able to strip map control and just, yeah, map control, map presence away from ByuN with those initial fungals, and able to force ByuN to stay on the back foot. He kept trading time and time again. SHIN had an economy, ByuN less so. He was fighting to hold on to that 4th base, and he was losing workers, he was losing control of the base itself, just barely. He was being broken, just barely. And with that, SHIN will take it. SHIN will take it, will advance on, and now we have a rematch. It's going to be a rematch between ByuN and SHIN. Sorry, between MaxPax and SHIN. And for those of you that were here last week, you would know that this is a rematch. This is a rematch. SHIN did defeat MaxPax last week in the WarDTV Monday. SHIN took down MaxPax 3-1. did take him down 3-1, and we'll see if SHIN can do it again, or if MaxPax can get his revenge. We'll see if MaxPax can fight back here, as we're getting ready for our next series. Cool. GG. Meanwhile, shout out to ByuN. Just some unfortunate moments, both in Game 1 and in Game 2, but it was really nice to experience some of these older maps once again. I look forward to seeing more of them in the future.